Yo, this is Dr. Phantom here, coming live, making another video on today's topic. So let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, today we get into the facts about the principle of Luciferianism. We'll talk about what it is, what its principles are, and listed basically have a idea of what I think about it, what I feel about it really, and also just to cover the positive impacts it has on society, see how it's positively affecting the world, and also to see what the negative impacts we have in society regarding it, and all the propaganda that people put into it. So let's dive into this topic. So, Luciferianism is not your typical religion, but more a way of life or belief system that admires and respects the characteristics and personality traits shown by Lucifer through various texts like the Hebrew Bible. Luciferianism should not be confused to Satanism, although they have some similarities. Luciferians do not worship Satan or Lucifer in any way, and instead try to live to the standards set by the original Lucifer, who is a character of enlightenment, independence, and progressiveness. There is an extensive list of principles by which Luciferians try to live by. I'll be going through a few of them, as going through the entire list will take a lot of time, which I do not have, unfortunately. I'll be listing just 5 of them in this video, which I kind of like and do follow myself, although I do not see myself as a full Luciferian myself. I like the concept and the ideas behind it. So let's get into it. Principle 1. As spiritual person or enlightened person who chooses to seek knowledge from both within and without rather than idolize an external deity. Luciferians follow the ideals of Lucifer and do not worship him. They pay respect to Lucifer and acknowledge him, but they are also not dependent on him like how other religions or religious orders rely and worship on their deity to save them. Also, Luciferians will choose to exemplify the ideals of Lucifer out of choice, not of doctrine or expectation. Principle 2. Pursuit of wealth and living in prosperity. The Luciferians do not see wealth as evil or to be ashamed of. Lucifer encourages you to strive for success and enjoy the rewards that you acquire from your labor. It is good to take pride in your accomplishments and to highlight them. So that seems to be a pretty cool idea to strive towards. Luciferians like the idea of abundance, and as long as your conscience is okay with that, I dig that concept. Just make sure you don't go about destroying someone or something to accomplish your goals. Not cool. Principle 3. Conversion is not a goal. I like that. They do not force their beliefs upon others. It says they do consider themselves as a member of an elite group of self-determined people, and they have no interest in converting others. They see no value in bringing a large number of followers who may not have the full dedication to the principles, or they'll be like mindless sheets. The Luciferian path is one that people seek out through self-determination, not one that seeks followers. Pretty cool idea, really. Principle 4. Acceptance of other faiths, especially Abrahamic faiths. So the Luciferian respects people of all faiths, even Abrahamic faiths, will accept their beliefs even while disagreeing with them. So while Luciferians have nothing against, the Abrahamic faith, especially Christianity, Judaism, Islam, on a personal level, they disagree with what they see as subservience to demanding an arbitrary God as practiced by those faith systems. Interesting concept, which is kind of cool. Don't bow down to anyone, don't give your power away to anyone. Cool idea. So the next one is principle 5. Free will and personal responsibility are primary. So what this means is each person is responsible for their own fate, which is determined by his or her own talents and efforts. Finding ways around life's roadblock is an expected part of life for the Luciferians, and overcoming them is cause for pride and happiness. They're also expected to accept any unhappiness that arrives due to the bad choices they make. That seemed like a pretty cool idea. So, these are some of the principles there I was talking about. There's more. So, if you do want to read more about it, let's suggest reading books on it. So, yeah, these are the concepts. So, what do I think of Luciferianism and what I feel about it? It is a very intriguing way of living one's life. It makes you rely on the self, empowering the individual to take destiny into their own hands. I love the concept of not bowing down to any beings or any gods, at the same time showing respect to other people's beliefs, even if you don't agree with them. The idea that one should investigate and come to one's own conclusion of what spiritual practice to choose is really awesome. It is such a left hand path, and the whole pursuit of wealth and living in prosperity is such an amazing concept. There's nothing wrong with being abundant after all, right? It is such a beautiful way of practicing. I feel strongly towards Luciferianism, even though I don't put any labels on myself, but I would align myself towards many of the ideals and beliefs. If you are interested in knowing more, there are books out there to read, videos to watch. I honestly don't know what to recommend. I would say have a look. The world is yours after all. So go out there, go searching for it, and if you resonate with it, definitely get into it, get invested in it if you feel like. But the choice is yours, and it always is in your hands. So, what are the positive impacts Luciferianism had on the world? So here are some what I think that I'm listing myself. So let's get straight into it and list the positive impacts that Luciferian had on the world, at least what I think, what people think around, So let's get into it. So first of all, it inspires free thinking. As you're making choice out of freedom, not because it's tradition that you have to follow. So it kind of inspires you to think freely, to investigate, to not just follow something blindly, but actually to use logic, common sense, your brain, using your brain to figure if something resonates with you or not, and to make the choice completely on your own. That's pretty cool. Next one, there's I read articles here and there that Lucifer is one of his role is that he would take on the role of an educator to teach and empower the people, like oneself, and not to be slave to someone. So basically, it's like taking the power in your own hand, not relying on some external force to save you. So one person I remember saying, God of the Bible doomed mankind to perpetual ignorance. Because ignorance ain't bliss. Ignorance makes you a slave and takes away your free will. That's what it said. Anyway, the next bit is Lucifer is often compared to the Greek titan Prometheus, who both, if you read on the history of both of them, tried to help humanity by giving the power of knowing oneself, only to be stopped by jealous gods who were only interested in their own selfish desires. And of course, because of this, Lucifer and Prometheus were considered to be rebels. He's like the OG rebel. who inspired rebels to bring down the system, especially the really bad ones. Rebels are people who just don't care about the system and just want to be themselves. So it's pretty positive impacts he's having on the world, Of course, there'll always be bias in here and there, and there'll always be like, oh, I don't feel it, or I don't think it's right for me, which is fair enough. Everyone has a right to choose. So, that's what Luciferianism is about. It says you choose what you want to believe. You have the power in your hand. All right, so let's look at the negative impacts and propaganda spread against Luciferianism. So, when you look at it, Luciferism, which teaches about free will, free thinking, respecting other religions, living in abundance, protecting the natural world. A lot of good things behind, a lot of good principle behind it. How can it be an evil religion? How can it be something that's negatively impacting the world? So let's get it. So basically, like any other spiritual teachings or any other religions, there will be followers who will try to twist the teachings of its founders. So basically, what will happen is there will be these twisted people who will follow the teachings to advance themselves, all the while destroying people around them, destroying things around them, destroying the earth around them. And due to these teachings, due to this, what they do, by following the teaching, but at the same time destroying the world, Luciferianism will get bad rep. Of course, it's not Lucifer or the teaching's fault. It's more the person's intent and motivation behind it. Why they're doing it, I mean, for us to say, is it evil religion when it teaches all these good values and whatnot? Who are we to say it's evil? But anyway, let's digress and confirm what the propaganda as well is. Well, I said the propaganda comes basically from the people of the Abrahamic faith. Not everyone, but the people who spread fear and propaganda. Because the fact is, they want to promote their religion as righteous and any other teachings as unrighteous, evil, as we say. So basically, what we say, like there'll be those people who will see a new way of thinking, that says empower yourself, make yourself a god, put yourself first. As that kind of thinking as evil and heresy. Well, why? Because Luciferianism challenges the ideals of the God of the Abrahamic faiths. Of course, because of this, people will spread propaganda because, he's spreading people to empower themselves. Those people will be insecure. It's like, let's belittle it, let's twist it around. Of course, a lot of twisting comes from Luciferianism is an occult, evil practice. Luciferianism is related to Illuminati, or those Luciferians are basically those who eat children and drink their blood. And Luciferianism is related to mass murderers and all these elitists and whatnot. No. Luciferianism for anyone who wants to embrace the ideals of what it says. Protect the natural world, respect people, empower yourself, live in abundance, take responsibility for your action. Where is it evil? And of course, the negative impacts. There's no negative impacts by the teaching, but of course, the people who use it and their motives, of course. And of course, the fear and propaganda comes from people who are insecure and want to bring it down. So there we go. That's a brief intro to the principles of Luciferianism, or think about it, what's it about, and all the positive and negative impacts. So, hope you liked this video. The fun feel fact, if you want to learn more, definitely read through and research. Thanks for watching. This is Dr. Phantom. Come again.